right, thank you for tuning in to the Showtime N Kev Podcast. I didn't even announce that we were doing it, so if you are paying attention, you are awesome because you've been following us from the very beginning, but we can't get the show going until Kevin gives his island intro, so start it up for us, Mr. Munroe, please.
In the name of the one called Emperor Selassie, I come to travel to the King of Kings and Santa Cruz Reggae Music Festival. The rascal go up in this piece, Lord of mercy. Book. Enough man are dead. Enough man are dead. Enough bullets are fire. Enough man are gunshot. Lick shot.
I agree. Jesus. That was a remix, and it's killing our producer right now. She had never heard anything like that.
How much bullets in pneumatic?
Our
Enough
station
bullets
manager
in
today is a
pneumatic.
very demure white woman, and she's terrified right now.
Enough man have to draw. Draw your pistol, boy, if you want to come and check me. You want to see me, come see me.
I must admit, I don't totally understand what Kevin's talking about right now.
It's been,
Kevin's having a rough day, and that's what comes out of him when he's angry.
Enough man have to dead. When the one come for chest me, or,
He missed being cast in belly by this much. Like, this, so close. It was between him and the dude they picked.
When the one come for chest,
You don't want to rump with me?
You know what, rump? Who want to come rump with the boy? You want to come test me, boy? You want rump?
That's what sucks about being black. Besides, like, nigga, I'm fucking kid. On everything I love. That's the only thing that could come out of me, like, that's tribal.
No, well, I mean, well, black people, black Americans have their own shit, but they're like, oh, nigga, you won't play? Come on, nigga, you won't, like, but
On
like,
everything I love. That's usually the last thing someone ever hears.
I put it on God, God.
On mama's son, on the dead homies. Like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's about to go down. You know what, rump with me, boy?
How you doing, man? You all right? You feeling okay today?
Yeah, I'm just it's been crazy.
Shout out to our sponsor, Mango White Claw, which is the darkest that this fucking drink gets.
Yeah, this is the Caribbean version of Los Feliz in a bottle.
Kevin wrestled 3 Chads and a Jenny to get a box of this shit.
Oh yeah, they sell out a White Claw now. Like,
They do, man. It's White Claw for like white guys between like 18 and 30 is like Power Rangers when you were a kid at Christmas. You cannot keep them shits in the store.
And no, you go to the White Claw section, it's all gone, man. Like they sell out. But now, man,
this tastes like seltzer water. Like,
but it's not. It's actually malt liquor.
I know, but it tastes like, remember those New York seltzers? It's kind of old school, but like they're like
that's before my time, Cory.
No, they still exist, but like they're like seltzer water.
What are you 70? Like, what are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking? You're older than me. I'm just saying. There's like these. They come in these little bottles with the little lids on, like the little. I don't even know how to explain it. Like the little half soda bottles, and they're like flavored seltzers, but they ain't got no sugar in them. So.
Oh, okay, I've never played with those sort of things.
Okay.
But anyway, just to start off, first off, our viewers, yes, I'm extremely late. We supposed to start at 2:30, and we started at 3.
We're starting right on Colored People time and Pacific Standard Time. If you're following at home.
Yeah. So I mean, there's been there's a lot of stuff happening, man.
There's a lot going on. He's signed an NDA, so we're not going to get too much into it. But
yeah. So but I mean, we're here. We're still doing our thing. It's been a weird week, man. I mean,
it has been a weird week.
I mean, I just like everything that's happened this week. I've just been looking, thinking, none of this really matters anymore.
Right?
You know, I mean, like, dude is like think of like the whole impeachment thing, right? Like, like all the shit they're saying about what Trump has done. Like, it's not like nobody's going, oh, that's a lie.
And
they're
not so much like what Trump has done, but like shit that he's even admitted to on camera.
Right, like they want to act like we don't have like recorded video. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of world do we live in where it's like, well, he never said that. Here's the video, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
like it's right here.
If enough people just refute what is absolutely fact, then what is a fact? It's really hard to like. It's what's the word I'm looking? It's patronizing, I guess. Like they're patronizing. I think that's the word I'm trying to think of. It's like they think we're stupid, or they don't care. They're just gonna keep peddling this shit that we know is wrong, And it's never been this blatant before. Like now you got like people like Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham that are saying they're outright just already siding with White House. Like, there's nothing you can do. Like, we're gonna do everything in our power to stop this trial. So that's just like, imagine if you're on trial and the jury has already decided against you. If your lawyer's worth a damn, he's like, mistrial, motherfucker. This is some bullshit. Like, it's already, the jury has already said they think he's guilty.
Right. Well, I mean,
or think he's innocent, or whatever.
Well, I mean, that's not an imaginary situation. I mean,
that's what's happening.
I mean, before the civil rights movement, like, they would deliberately pick all white juries for black people.
Yeah, but we had 50 years of where this is different now.
Yeah. I mean,
50 years without a Samuel L. Jackson movie.
I mean,
that didn't involve that.
The only difference in your previous lives was deciding on whether they want to jail the nigger or hang the nigger. But that's about it. Like they deliberately pick all white juries to make sure that.
Well, this time we have a white guy and they don't know what to do. This was so much easier when it was a black guy.
right. Like there would actually be a trial.
Yeah.
But I mean, and actually, in real law, like you would be like disqualified as a jurist if you. They always ask you questions. Like, remember during the OJ trial, they'd ask people, do you know OJ? Have you heard of him? And all this sort of thing. And if you had, they'd immediately disqualify you, right? And they disqualify people that were trying to sell, like, their own books or their own, like, takes on stuff, because they're like, no, you can't be in the jury if you obviously have an opinion before you've heard the facts. And that's what we have now. So it doesn't, I mean, but I think this is ultimately what white people want. They want a country buy-in for them. And if you buy the premise that this is a white country for white people and we get to make the rules, then none of this shit matters. You're like, well, if it's one of us, then we don't care. We'll change the rules.
But what's crazy is, like, this is the first time where it's really been that obvious. Like, even back when we had no rights, when Jim Crow was going on, they wouldn't outright say that shit.
Well, no, it's obvious in your lifetime.
True.
If you go like to the 1930s, 1940s, they were like straight up like
touche.
Yeah. So it's the first time it's been obvious to you in your lifetime that this is how it is.
But it's frustrating.
But I mean, as far as a foreign person that came to America and had to learn about America like as it is, I'm like, that's totally how you guys are.
Yeah. No, and the thing I've always known that, but like
this shame in your game.
Yeah, I've always known that, but this country just has this. Like, I don't even know what it is to live here and know that, but like it doesn't matter,
No shame in your game, man.
Like no matter
shame in your game.
No matter how much you're absolutely right. No matter how blatant it is, and no matter how much bullshit we put up with, like we act like this isn't like third world level corruption where it's like over in Russia, Putin has been president for like the last 20 years, and when he wasn't president, the person that was president was somebody he installed because like whatever statute of limitations there was on his time to rule. But he's been president for all that time because if you didn't let him be president, he'd kill you.
Yeah,
and this is
polonium tea, basically.
And this is pretty much the same thing. Like it's getting to the point where this is just outright blatant levels of dictatorship.
Yeah. I mean, the motherfucker's talking about being president for life, and he's not joking. Like people are like, that's cute. Like no,
there was a tweet
the nigga's not. He's serious. He's gonna do that.
There was a tweet from Mike Huckabee, I believe, that said like he was absolutely serious about why, because how this whole everything that's happened since Trump has been elected, it gives him the ability to run for a third term.
Yeah.
I was like, get the fuck out of here.
They're not playing. This is not a game. I mean, so...
this is the and it's
I swear to God, like, why did I leave a third world country to come to another one? Like, I want to speak. Can I speak to the manager?
But we have McDonald's though. That's the difference. We have McDonald's and Xbox, and that's what we're better. We have Nike. We have the NBA, man.
We had that too in Trinidad when I left. But come on, man. I mean, like, I really want to speak to the manager. Like, look, you were born here, okay? You had no choice.
I got bad news for you, bro. Trump's the manager.
Can I speak to the manager? Oh, I'm here.
It's like, I am the manager, motherfucker.
Jesus Christ. Like,
I'm the manager. I've always been the manager. No one's ever managed better than me. Look, I'm the king of management. I wrote the book, The Art of Management.
I have receipts. Like, I demand to see. This should be better. Like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. No. You can take that receipt and turn that sumbitch sideways and stick it straight up your candy ass. Because this is pretty much just a giant WWE plot. Like, this isn't too far away from some shit that I used to watch when I was like 12 when Vince McMahon ruled the world, because This man is pretty much ruling the world.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just better hair.
Did you hear this fucking dude? He created Space Force. Space Force, right? Which is like, yeah, I mean, it sounds like an '80s like cartoon, right?
It sounds like a bad
Space
Star Trek
Force.
knockoff. Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba, Space Force. Like
It's like
like
Space
when-
Force is like when you ordered Star Trek on Wish. That's what you get.
Right. If you look up Star Trek on Netflix, it's like perhaps we'd like to look at.
It's like, yeah, we don't own the license to Star Trek. How about Space Force?
Right. You're like, what kind of knockoff shit is this?
Like this is not. It's not even a knockoff of Star Trek. It's a knockoff of Spaceballs.
Yeah, it's just horrible. And the funny thing is, the whole thing is going to be housed inside the Air Force, and it's going to be. All the offices are going to be in the Air Force, so it's a complete nothing. It's
What
it's
in
bullshit.
the actual fuck do we need to police in space?
I don't know. Indian satellites, like I don't know. Like,
How, Sway? How? Like what?
the only objects in
What's
space
it-
right now are the mini satellites that are actually broadcasting Facebook and other things. And the reason you can see us right now.
You mean the world is round?
Yeah, the reason the reason you can see us right now is because the satellites that Facebook put up in space lets us broadcast this stuff like across the world. So that's the only thing you're policing. Like, there's no, there's no pew pew pew. There's no like James
Yeah,
Bond.
there's no lasers. There's no.
Pew, 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 pew.
There's no Millennium
Pew, pew, pew.
Falcon. There are no Wookiees. There's no point to the Space Force.
Yeah, there's no Baby Yoda up there like fucking around.
There's no reason. There's not. The Mandalorian isn't gonna stop you. I don't fucking.
Yeah,
know.
it's so silly. And by the way, can I say one thing about this whole Baby Yoda phenomenon?
Sure.
Where are Baby Yoda's parents?
We don't know. You got to watch the show.
It's baby. Why,
Mandalorian Sundays on Disney Plus.
why would you put a baby out in the world with bounty hunters at a bar? Like, are there no like child protective services in Star Trek?
No,
There's no CPS.
absolutely not.
Like, hey, there's a baby at this bar. Like, what?
That
what's going on
baby
here?
is 50 years old, and that's the question you're asking?
I don't care if he's 50. He's still a baby though. Like, come on. Like, who's parents? Like, come on, man. You can't.
We
put-
don't know.
You
Yoda.
can't put a baby out there like
Probably
that.
Yoda. That's what we're trying to figure out.
I mean, y'all have no heart, man. You see a baby with a bounty hunter, and your first instinct is, oh, it's cute. It's like, no, it's a baby. Like, where are the parents? Why am I the only person thinking this? Like, why?
I don't know. I just don't know.
What?
We were talking about Trump and the conspiracy, and it really is just a living, breathing conspiracy now. Like just what's happening. Like it's just like it's happening right before our eyes. Like last week tonight called it Super Watergate because it's just like that. Like they're pulling the strings, but it's just happening right in front of us with no like.
There's no plot.
There's no
hidden-
lube. There's no
There's no
barrier.
hidden anything.
Nah, it's just happening straight up. Like it's like, look, we're stealing this shit, and you're going to let us, and we're gerrymandering everything. So if you vote, it won't matter. So, like,
And-
it's just funny realizing how fucked we are. Because like if like
Well, I mean, some of the senators, like Susan Collins and so on, they're saying they're having death threats put against them, and I'm like, well, look, if you're at the point where you're afraid to vote a certain way because they're death threats, you're being held hostage. That's what hostage. That's a hostage situation, right? I mean, these people. It's one thing to be afraid of the base. It's another thing to be scared of them for your life, which is a hostage situation. And ask yourself, like, all right, well, are you willing to live that way? Like to have like literal guns put against your head to vote? Like, I mean, what kind of? Then we're not really living in a democracy anymore. We're living in a.
that's my point, Kevin. We're kind of not. Like, remember, we voted, and 3 million more of us voted for someone else, and we got the other motherfucker.
Right. So yeah.
So it didn't matter. We should be voting in our local elections and shit that matters, like down to that level. But like when it comes to like the main event, you know what I mean? Like the main thing that would change the course of history and like how our country is governed. 3 million more of us. Out of like I think there was only 100 million people that voted. So a full 3% voted for Hillary Clinton, and we got Trump.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
So it is what it is. Like that's about as corrupt as it gets.
Well, the funny part is the reason this all happens is because of the Civil War, because of slavery, because of the Electoral College. And the idea, the Electoral College was in places like South Carolina and Mississippi where black people were the majority doing slavery. Like in South Carolina, there were more black people than white people.
Okay,
And,
I believe
and so they built this whole idea of the Electoral College where, 2 senators per state, so that no matter what the representative population was, they couldn't overturn, whatever the Senate votes were. And of course, if you're black, you couldn't vote. So
Yeah.
so it was never like a representative majority at all at any time. And we've never gotten rid of that, even after the Civil War. I mean, really, like to be honest with you, like the problem is that the U.S. government didn't burn the South to the ground after the Civil War. They really should have. I mean, that's really the problem. Because the things
We treated them like they were our brothers instead of traitors.
Yeah, I mean, they did one
Because that's how deep it goes with Caucasians.
They did one good thing, which is that they let black people be senators. So the first black senators came up in the 1860s and 1870s, but they did not punish the Confederate leaders of the time. They let them be part of the government too. And then as soon as the federal government retreated in the 1870s, 1880s, then boom, they went back and the Klan rose up and they started burning black businesses to the ground. And they always targeted businesses and churches. They never targeted the regular people because they always wanted to make it seem that, okay, if you have any kind of power as a black person, then you are upsetting the idea of white supremacy. So that's why they always knock down a church, always knock down a business. So you kind of fucked up. You should have, I mean, when you win a war, you're supposed to kill the people that you beat in the war, and he didn't.
I agree.
So anyway, the point of the matter is, you fucked up, America. You fucked up in 1875. I don't know what to tell you now because you can't change anything now. So look, for posterity, Trump will get reelected.
That's sad.
That's
true, but it's sad.
I guarantee you Trump will get reelected. You know why? Because white people are too stupid and racist to not reelect him.
I agree.
Period. Like, that's going to happen.
I wish he was wrong. I want to be like, but no, Kevin, you're just...
No.
Good. Put me 20... Like, if that's...
Trump is going to die on the White House toilet like Elvis.
covered in grease and shame.
Yeah.
Actually, not shame because he's
never felt that. Yeah.
He's never felt shame.
Yeah, but that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna die in the toilet like Elvis.
Yeah.
Eating a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
tweeting his whole heart out. And, yeah, none of this impeachment shit matters. Like, nothing's going to change. Like these rich white men that are in power. Like I saw something that was funny. Like earlier today, I saw a thing that came. An article came across my timeline that said America is has a government no longer representative of the people. I was like, oh, you fucking think?
it never has been.
Exactly. It never has been.
I mean, at one point there were 4 million enslaved Africans on this continent, completely unrepresented by anything anyone ever said.
And we're not even talking about the prison population.
Well, it's 2 million now, right? I mean, the Native Americans never had any representation.
None.
So the idea that somehow like this is strange, like this is weird now. No, it's weird now because white people are being treated the same way niggas were being treated.
Forever.
Yeah. Like, oh, we don't have any rights? Yes, motherfucker. Now you see.
Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at.
I can't believe I voted against this guy and he's just doing whatever the fuck he wants. Yes, that's what niggas have had to deal with.
That's how we got to deal with everything. It's how niggas got to deal with the police, how niggas got to deal with the school system, how niggas got to deal with the police, the prison system. It's everything is slanted against us. We've known this from Jump Street, and now that it's harder for everyone, it's like, yo, what's going on here?
Right, exactly. And that's what's so weird to me. It's like people are like talking shit. Oh, I can't believe Kamala Harris got railroaded. I can't. Like, what world do you live in, dude? Like, this is how it's always been.
Yeah.
I mean, Shirley Chisholm ran for president in 1980 against Ronald Reagan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were like, it's a joke. Like what's the maid doing here? You know, like they
made that joke.
They made like they're totally disrespectful of her like even attempt. You know, Jesse Jackson ran for president in '84.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
That's why Barack Obama winning was so fucking shocking, because it was like, get the fuck out of here. And then black people on top of it was like, yo, where did they find this nigga? He's never had a baby mama. He's never been to jail. All he does is smoke cigarettes. He's the most magical black person I've ever seen, which is why it made it so easy for him to steal too.
right. Yep. I mean, I do. I mean, I knew this happened, but I can't prove it because it's been scrubbed from the internet. But there was an aide that tried to scoop on Barack Obama in 2008.
I'm positive.
And she got
no way he went 8 years without like using his swag just a little.
just a little.
Hey, why don't you come over here for a second?
just a little,
help me adjust something.
just sprinkle a little something on it, like no, but. And they said that brought to the Bahamas. Like they sent her like out of the fucking country. Like they were like, you have a new assignment. It's in Siberia.
There's a reason we didn't close Guantanamo Bay, and that's where I keep my side hose. Anyway,
Barack got like 2 burner phones. You've never heard from me. By the way, your Barack is really good. I like that.
Thank you.
You never heard this from me.
It's something about being exposed to somebody for 8 years, like. And that's another thing that really just insults my intelligence just as a human being and a citizen of America. Like, Donald Trump lies for a living, but that's not anything new. Like, he's always, like, the one thing that he isn't lying about is who he is. This motherfucker has never changed from Jump Street, whether you liked him back then and hate him now or vice versa. Donald Trump has always been a piece of shit. He's always been the exact same piece of shit.
Yeah. I mean,
and motherfuckers elected this guy.
But I mean, I have to admit though that he is a genius at being a piece of shit. Like
yes.
I've never I would.
He keeps it fresh.
I would have run out.
He's the shit that keeps on shitting.
I would have run out of piece of shit things to do by now.
Nah.
Like he just every day he finds some new way.
A lower level of petty to fuck with somebody.
Like how? I mean, like
he is the real Grinch.
He's a piece of shit's piece of shit.
Yes,
like,
he's a horrible person.
Like piece of shit's looking at him going, no, that's a piece of shit.
He fought with a child. Like he really hates a little girl right now. Like legit wants to punch this little chick in the face.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And the funny thing is like dude, you put yourself in the cover of Time magazine several times for fake. And he's jealous of people that actually do real things.
Yo,
like,
Donald Trump is the closest thing white people will ever have to a real nigga. Like just a serious. Like do not give a fuck. Not one.
Like if Donald Trump was black, we would look at him and be like, this nigga.
Yeah. Exactly. Like nobody likes this motherfucker. Terrible. Yes, terrible. Just like, who invited this nigga? Oh.
God damn it. This
just ignorant and failing up though. That's how you know like that's like Donald Trump is just 150% pure concentrated white privilege. Like that's all it is. Nothing ever will nothing bad will ever happen to that man.
He can't dance, he doesn't like animals, like women hate him, like other people hate him. Like he just fucking sucks.
Dude, I saw the other day another woman had phone evidence of him sexually assaulting her. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's not gonna matter. It's not gonna change anything. It's not even gonna get traction in the news.
Right.
I had to like, oh shit, yeah, that happened too. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Nobody cares.
It's just add it on the pile, man. Like,
if Obama hugged a waitress and put his hand on the small of her back, that shit would have been like enough impeachment.
Yeah.
He copped a feel.
Obama doesn't touch anybody.
No, he doesn't.
He smiles, but he doesn't touch people.
He barely kisses Michelle.
I mean, it's like I've tried to explain to people like I've never encountered any character in fiction or in real life that has zero redeeming characteristics.
And I've never encountered someone who's both fiction and in real life at the same time.
You can't.
He's fake but real. I can't explain it.
Like if Disney created like a terrible like character, you wouldn't believe it because
Yeah.
you're like because even like Esmeralda or like the 101 Dalmatians lady like had some kind of heart
They
somewhere.
had a goal. They had an underlying like thing that they were trying to do. There was an overall goal they were trying to reach. Trump is just pure pettiness.
I think he's mentally retarded. Like
I
really
know he is, but nobody cares.
I mean, and I mean that
He's
in
too
like
rich for anyone to admit that.
no, I'm serious. Like he has like mental health problems. Like
Oh, absolutely.
Like a person that has like
Anyone that lies to that degree, to where like we saw you. It's like look, he's like I never said it. We're playing
here it is.
we're playing it for you to you. It wasn't me. I never said anything like that. I never said that.
I mean, even Shaggy's like, I did the "it wasn't me" thing as a
Is-
joke.
is
Like, it
unfathomable.
wasn't me was funny, but I did it. But
Like it just hurts your head to continue to think logically about something that like he's acting like a child, and we have no defense for it because we never like our entire government was not set up for this. A 73-year-old 3-year-old.
oh man, that's exactly right. Like we're too polite. Like
Yeah.
we're like okay, well this is an adult. He has money and he has children, so clearly he must this must mean something. We have to respect that. Not realizing that no, like this is a child, and you can't you can't let a child like.
And we're not even being political. It's like I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I don't give a shit. I'm just being completely objective with my fucking eyes.
I mean,
this shit is ridiculous.
I mean, he looked at a map of the Korean Peninsula at night, and because North Korea, like, there's no lights there at all and he looked at it, and North Korea is between South Korea and China, and so the border between China and North Korea has lights. North Korea has no lights, and South Korea has lights, and he's like, "Is that an ocean?" And I had to explain to him, no, that's North Korea. They have no lights because that's how backwards they are.
And he just didn't get it.
And he did, yeah. He's like, well,
And
and they told him, okay, that's North Korea. It's 30, and it's like that's South Korea. It's 30 miles away from the border of North Korea. And he's like, it's that close. And he said, we need to evacuate every American citizen in South Korea right now. And they're like, sir, we can't do that, because that would panic the South Koreans, and that would trigger a war, and also would destroy the Korean economy because it would plunge the Korean. And he's like, do it anyway. And they're like, okay, sir. And he left
And then
the room.
they just ignore him.
And they're like, don't listen to a
Yeah,
fucking word
it's
this
like-
nigga has to say.
Yeah.
Like he like shit like that. Like it's insane. It's
you know how
fucking
like
insane.
at some point you just stop letting your grandpa drive. Like you just like I don't give a fuck how I get it. You're in World War II. You raised 3 families. I understand, Grandpa. You're a proud man. Give me your fucking keys. You're gonna kill somebody.
You're running into trash cans and like
Yeah.
he's hitting shopping carts.
3. You've killed 3 cats this week.
Yeah, I mean that's how insane this shit is, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even like understand.
Someone take that should just be like whoever ends up with the Democratic nomination, just run on the fucking campaign.
Take the keys from Grandpa.
Take the keys from Grandpa. Even if it's fucking Bernie. How fucking ironic would that be? I need to take the keys from And I love Bernie, but he's 250 years old.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how long like he might win and die from the shock of winning.
Yeah, it's possible.
Like I feel like he had a great chance 4 years ago when healthcare was like more effective for him. But now it's like like he's gonna be one of those heads in the jar like Futurama.
Right.
Like he's too fucking old.
Yeah, I mean, but they're all too old. I mean, I have no idea why they think that 70-something-year-old people should be running anything.
Yeah, like we have an age minimum to run for president. We need an age maximum to run for president. Like you shouldn't be older than 48.
Like if you're getting Social Security, dog, I mean, if your AARP is like all filled up on your card, nah, it's a wrap, dude.
Nah, you still need to be enough. Like you still need to be close enough removed to like your kids getting into drugs. You know what I mean? In order to make policy and shit.
Yeah, I mean, like 55, 60, that's good. I mean, Barack was the
Not
right
48.
age. Barack was the right age, like 45, 46.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, come on, man. Like 77, man. And the thing is, like, Trump is living like a retiree. Like he's watching Fox News all day, and he's playing golf all day. Like that's what retired people do.
And he doesn't care about climate change because he knows he's not gonna be here in 20 years. That shit doesn't matter to him. He wants to make all his money now. And it's like, who gives a fuck about the climate? Who cares about that shit? I'm not gonna be here. Like, I can make another $1 billion by dumping this shit directly into the ocean. Well, let's change these laws.
Exactly. I'm a frack Oklahoma to the point until the thunder like dome just falls apart. You know, fracking causes earthquakes, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So,
why wouldn't it? Like, it's one of those things where, like, yeah, I don't know for sure, but like, yeah, why the fuck wouldn't it?
That's true.
Like, you're digging in the ground, you're blowing up you're digging under the ground and putting an air bubble into the ground to it's stupid. Let's talk about something more lighthearted.
I think we got off on a rant here, which is healthy for me because I'm already angry as it is. So
both of us just went full Dennis Miller.
I don't want to go on a rant here, but
remember when he was funny? Anyway.
Oh God. What is up with some of these like Hollywood people that become like conservative, like John Voight or Dennis Miller, or what's his
Too Big to Fail? I don't know.
Chuck, the guy.
Chuck Woolery?
Chuck Woolery, yeah.
How ironic is it that Chuck Woolery is such an asshole? Like, your job was just interview people on dates, and now you're just a complete shitbag.
Yeah, it's like Chuck Woolery on Twitter is just like the worst. Like,
get off my lawn.
I don't know, man. Maybe there's something, you know. I think people of his generation are part of that old white dude like generation where shit was just like, you know, good for them, and they're seeing it kind of melt away. Yeah. And I think Lizzo scares them.
Oh, absolutely. Lizzo is everything they're terrified of.
What is this?
Change!
Why is this fat black woman so popular? Oh my God!
Oh, don't say fat. Don't say fat. We'll get canceled. She is body positive.
No,
goddammit.
Look, Lizzo is fat. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with being fat.
Nothing wrong with fat.
Yeah.
In fact, I appreciate fat more than all these other words they're trying to put on us fat people, like obese. Like, you really gonna give me a longer word with more syllables with O is in the motherfucker? Right. Oh, that's fuck you.
Yeah, no, I don't see any reason to, you know.
Overweight, that's just long. Like, this is like, I'm lazy. Look, just because I'm fat don't mean I'm not lazy. I don't feel like saying overweight. I'm fat. It's to the point.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's, you know, people's bodies are different. You know, my older brother, you know, he was, you know, he's a bigger guy, and he's just like, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's fat for time. That's just how people are. I mean, it's not, you know, for Lizzo to go out there and shake her ass at the Clippers game. I mean, I'm not mad. And by the way, you know, she shot. I mean, way to shoot your shot. By the way, I mean, god damn. I mean, that's not a DM. That's like
she just went right after Karl Anthony Towns while he was trying to get a layup. He was like, huh?
He might try to play a ball and you see a big ass like that. Like I would be like, timeout, coach.
This is why I miss Kobe, because Kobe would use that to his advantage immediately. Like, oh, so y'all going to dinner after this, right?
Oh.
You know she like lobster, right?
Yep. See that ass over there? See that ass?
He would find every way to get this in.
I mean, that's why I can't play T-Sports. I'm stupefyingly distracted. Like, I'm like I have to think about this. Like, word? Okay, that was your ass.
Yeah, but it's funny because like
courtside.
People are like, that is an ass courtside. I'm like, what do you think the Laker girls are? It's just because she's fat. That's all it is.
No, well, I mean, the Laker girls, they try to, like, you know, tidy it up, like make them put like pantyhose on and like you know, and they deliberately don't pick women that are like, you know, voluptuous in any sense. So if you look at all the women,
no, I know.
You look at all their chests, like they're all like B cups.
Yeah,
I've looked very carefully.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're all my
whole thing was just I'm
no. They seriously, they really do pick for anti-jiggle factor because they want to have ladies, but they don't want to have women. You know, so
my whole thing is like, I didn't care. I just wanted to watch the game. So the fact that distracted from the game, I was like, congratulations. And then like the internet reacted the way it did, and people were like, "Oh, you're body shaming and this, that, and the other." I'm like, hey, she literally asked for that. Like you got up today with your ass cut out of your short, like out of your skirt
Right.
to go to a game and get attention. You got attention. And she seems to be okay about it, but the people that are defending what she did is like, no, this is like all the people that are talking shit, let them talk shit because that's exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah, that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, look, when Prince did it, I was singing, what was he singing? Sexy Motherfucker? I forgot the song.
I don't know what it was, but it
Oh, no.
got the exact reaction.
Yeah. We turned around and people were
Like,
like,
oh, nigga, what? Why? The exact same reaction as Lizzo. Oh, nigga, what? Why? It's halftime. Stop.
I have no idea what Prince was thinking, rest his soul, for cutting a hole in his pants.
But
to
it
show his
worked.
ass.
I don't know what he was up to, but it worked. I don't know what she was up to, but it worked. But I will say one thing, though. The comparisons to Rikishi from the WWE are fucking hilarious.
Oh, okay, that's out of my wheelhouse. I don't know anything
Oh,
about that.
you don't know who Rikishi is?
No.
Google that shit when you get a chance. That dude was in WWE back when, right before The Rock and everybody got popular. No, it was during that time. It was like, it was definitely, yeah, he's around Stone Cold and The Rock's era. But yeah, that's exactly who she looks like. Because he had this move called the stink face, and I'm pretty sure you can put two and two together.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna look that up. But anyway, bottom line, if you're a great musician, if you're famous, and you can afford courtside tickets to the Staples Center, you should be able to show your ass. I'm just saying.
And she did.
And she did.
And she was asked to leave because, her big ass is a distraction. It's just simple as that. It's like, look, man.
Niggas is missing free throws.
Right? Like,
Clunk.
you got to do that shit on the other side of the court or we're going to ask you to leave. Like, come on.
Clunk.
We're 23-3 right now. Don't fuck this up.
Look, I mean, we're just men, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you want to show me some ass, it's gonna distract me for at least 20 minutes.
And personally, and if it's going to keep the Kardashians away from the arena, she can do naked cartwheels for all I give a shit. Please come back. Just stop anything involving the Kardashians getting into that building. We're doing too well. We don't need to be cursed.
Yeah, I think the Kardashians are part of the rookie training for the NBA. Like, okay, rule number 7: avoid all Kardashians.
Yes.
I mean, you can look at Blake Griffin, you can look at Chris Humphries, you can look at Lamar Odom.
You can look at anybody that Kylie Jenner has dated.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Ben Simmons got away. He started shooting threes.
Yeah.
How does that? It's amazing.
Right. I mean, I will quote you. Like the Kardashians are worse than the ACL tear.
Yeah, it's
You said this years ago. And
yeah,
you're
dating
right.
a Kardashian it happens so often and it's such a frequent occurrence and such a bad thing for players. It's listed as a non-sports related injury.
Yeah. That should be on the score sheet. And did not play Kardashian.
Yeah, he's out. He's out this week with KKS.
I don't know what they do to people, but it's it obviously like destroys people's ankles, knees, jump shots, psyches. I mean, it's a bad situation.
James Harden was dating Khloe Kardashian for a while. He stopped, became MVP.
Yeah.
I don't have any science to back this. All I have is evidence that it works.
Because you have to descend into the dungeon with the devil.
I have data, but I can't crunch the numbers. I don't know how to make this shit. That's like science and magic aren't the same thing.
The Kardashians are the 2/3 part of the movie where the hero descends into the dungeon and realizes I have things to live for.
Yeah.
And then they reascend right into the thing.
Yeah, the punchline to my joke is that the Kardashian vagina is a pet cemetery for athletes and musicians.
It's hey, truth.
You're going down there, huh?
Are you sure you want to go out there, boy?
The ground's gone sour.
Man.
Oh, it's so sad because it's so true.
By the way, so I mean we had some topics, but I guess we just kind of like went off.
No, we went way off the rails.
Yeah.
We just ranted about things that were driving us insane as,
I
as
mean,
American citizens.
Yeah, this week has just been really difficult for everybody. I mean, I've been thinking about my team. The Warriors lost to the New York Knickerbockers.
Ouch.
We lost to the New York Knicks.
Ow.
And I'm just like,
Ow and how?
I'm like JJ, what that Barrett guy from the
JJ Barrett, yeah.
His head.
No,
is,
RJ Barrett. Sorry.
RJ Barrett. His head is unusually small. Like we didn't notice it because he had a lot of hair, but he cut his hair off, and it's like how is it that the top of your head is the same level as your eyebrows?
That's weird.
Like, what is like that dude has like his like where's the brain matter? Like his head is
That's
tiny.
like the opposite of Stephen A. Smith, where it's like you have hair, but your forehead goes on for an entirely too long.
Yeah.
There's way too much distance between your eye and your hairline.
Yeah, he's got like the George Jefferson light.
Yeah, it's like he won't go all the way, but it stops like right at the crouching tiger face.
Yeah, it's unnatural, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's weird.
and it's like, well, if it's unnatural, if it's fake, why not just put a regular hairline in?
Yeah,
like instead of like doing this
Sharpie
half-ass.
it and then just
Yeah, it's like, dude, if this shit goes all the way to the back, George Jefferson.
I mean,
style,
that's what LeBron had. LeBron has the Delroy Lindo. I mean, if you've ever looked at them both sides, if you ever looked at LeBron James and
Delroy Lindo.
If you've ever looked at LeBron James and actor Delroy Lindo side by side, you're like, oh, that's his daddy. Like, it looks exactly like him. And it's like Delroy has like that old black man where it's like you let the little bit of hair stay for some reason, but you bald all the way down in the streak. LeBron's got that, but he will not accept it.
Right. Yeah.
And I honestly think it's from years and years of him going at full speed to the basket is just push that shit back.
Just blowing it away.
Just the G forces, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, man. It's a sign of, if anything, it's a sign of your greatness. Just come on home, bro. Let it go. Who cares? What do you have to prove?
I mean, Alex Caruso doesn't give a fuck, right?
Not at all. He's 20. He's 26 years old.
And he looks.
Nobody in their mid-20s should be that bald.
He looks like an Egyptian cab driver.
I wish we could start a GoFundMe to give him hair, not for money, just to contribute hair to Alex Caruso, because there's no reason somebody in the peak physical condition at the prime of their life should be that goddamn bald. I mean, he has it's like 4 children bald. You know what I'm saying? Like 4 children, 2 mortgages, ex-wife bald.
Right. That dude has problems.
Yes,
he has problems. Yeah. But LeBron is still penciling the shit in. I don't get it, man.
Just let it go. You are the most successful basketball player, arguably ever. Let it go. Who are you? What do you have to prove? What are you trying to look like? You're built like a brick shit house. Are you worried that you won't be attractive? Bro, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, you're a billionaire. Like,
you're good. I'm still going to buy your shoes. You're good. Shave your head.
This company Roman is trying to do this thing where they have these wipes that'll keep you up and get your hair right and all this stuff.
That's the same thing.
Yeah. So they started out with the male erection stuff, and now they're doing hair stuff. Yeah.
And so they're just killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Well, what they're trying to imply is that to be a man means that your dick has to be hard and your hair has to be there. So I mean,
how are those mutually exclusive?
They
having hair doesn't mean you got you're, and being bald doesn't mean you're not. Like, that doesn't make.
Well, I mean, that's a market they're in. I mean, and I know this because I watch NBA TV at 3 a.m, and that's
the first commercial they go to after. I got you.
That's what they try to tell you. Hey, fellas, you feeling your testosterone is not quite up to.
I think that's just the nature of marketing. They're just going after whatever they can. It's like, we're pretty sure if you're still awake at 3 a.m. watching NBA, you missed your shot at the NBA. So let's go. Let's go after your insecurities that I got here.
Shots fired. I feel.
I wasn't saying that about you, dude. I'm 5'9". I missed my shot at the NBA in the fucking 8th grade. I had my hopes dashed by a girl.
I feel somehow hurt here.
Don't be. I was, and will forever be horrible at basketball.
Well, hold on. Lalique was like, "Is Cory trying to fuck LeBron?"
Wow, no.
Damn.
I'm not that I'm a Laker fan. I ain't no Bron sexual. I'm just saying, man. What is the point of him caring? You know what I'm saying?
Bron sexual.
Are you trying to fuck LeBron? Why do you care so much that I care? I'm talking about the man's hairline. You over here. Kevin brought up erections and shit.
Ooh, it's getting spicy on the line right now. Broad sexual. No, I mean, well, it's marketing. People try to tie in, masculinity with virility and with hair, and none of that really makes a difference because obviously, if any of that mattered, then people with no hair would not exist, right? I mean, women fuck guys with no hair all the fucking time.
All the time.
That's why we have men with no hair.
Seriously,
that's just not.
Like when you lose your hair, you get a Porsche. That's how you keep things moving, man. Like, like your hair isn't a sign of your virility. Your money is.
Ain't nothing going on but the rent.
What have you done for me
lately? You got to have a J-O-B if you want to be with me.
Am I lying?
Nothing going on but the rent.
All right. Do we want to try and sneak in one last topic, or should we get rolling?
One last thing, man. What do you got?
This is a very interesting, like completely inane, useless topic. Lighthearted, so we can get into this. Nick Cannon has gone full nuclear. I want to get after Eminem. I still have no idea why. And he declared victory the other day on the internet. And when I saw that, I just had to give the Pelosi clap gif, like, oh, good for you, baby.
Even
why? Like, why now? Like, why?
Even,
you had 10 years. Why now?
I mean, the game said, "Don't fuck with that white boy."
Don't,
because he will body you.
He will,
and he'll body you over a Christmas Carol.
He's Eminem is bodying him right now by doing nothing. That's how deep it.
He will. Body you.
Eminem. I guarantee Eminem looked at that, was like, and went back to whatever the fuck he was doing. Like, it's just like, I don't have time for this.
He will rhyme on the toilet and kill you. He'll body you off of nothing.
It's not. No.
And Nick Cannon is the corniest motherfucker to ever have fame. Like, I hate that guy. I really do. I think he sucks. He's from San Diego. Like what? Like
Here's
what?
The thing, though.
Like, first of all, what real niggas from Hollywood. San Diego? Okay,
there's
first
a lot
of all.
Actually. Don't get us shot over that shit. We're still in Southern California,
that.
Kevin.
I go to the Gas Lamp District, stand and hold my nuts. Like,
that's
what?
funny because you think the Gas Lamp District is where the tough people in San Diego are. I've been here a little longer than you, or at least in California longer, Kevin.
Okay.
Trust me, dude, you don't want to go down that road.
Okay.
But I'm saying.
San Diego. What, SeaWorld, nigga? Really?
No.
Why would be scared of some dolphins, motherfucker?
Actually, yeah, but letter C.
Like that, okay.
Yeah. Don't do that in the wrong neighborhood in this town. Anyway, Nick Cannon in Hollywood is one of the coolest people there is, which is another reason why it's funny. Because like I know why he's cool. Because he's an actor, a singer, a rapper, a writer, and he's bad at all, and a comedian. He's bad at all of it, but for some reason he gets to keep doing it, and I'm like, okay, making money. Nobody cares. I'm happy for him.
Right.
But the fact that he wants to go after Eminem, it's like, whew, you swinging for the fence. You know what I mean? Like, that's like saying, that'd be like me getting into boxing, like, okay, I want to fight Deontay Wilder.
Right.
Ugh.
Like, yo, man, I appreciate you trying to get your fitness up, but but bruh.
No, just no. and it's funny because like people are like, oh, black people taking up for Eminem. Oh, that's like, I'm seeing pictures of like Steven and Calvin Candy, from Django. Like, oh, you like taking up for the white boys. Like, nah, honestly, race has nothing to do with it. We just know
this is skills. Skills.
Yeah, like this is just like straight up not his fight to win.
Yeah, you're talking Vladimir Klitschko here. Like, okay, like this is 6'6", 240 pounds.
Switch
like,
it up. Me fighting Vladimir Klitschko.
Yeah,
not a good look.
Yeah,
not a good look.
And me telling you to not fuck with Vladimir Klitschko does not mean I'm down for black people.
But
I'm trying to save your life.
But I'm still just like, nah, fuck that big Russian motherfucker, man. He ain't do nothing to me. And you just like, man, I'm trying to help you. Just you throw in a towel before the fight starts. Like,
throw in the damn towel. Throw in the damn towel.
Like, come on, bro. This dude is a foot taller than you.
Right.
His arms are 2 feet longer than yours.
But I thought,
and he knows how to box. You don't. This isn't a good thing.
But black people got to stick together. Well, yeah, and I'm trying to stick together by saving your life.
Exactly.
Stop the life you save may be your own.
Let's just pull him out of the fire and we'll say like, yeah, it's like, oh, y'all don't think he can win, and we know he can't.
No, it's a rap.
No,
it's a rap. So he comes out.
Certain of it.
So he comes out there swinging with this and he's never like Nick Cannon has never had bars.
Never had bars.
Never had bars.
He's never had bars on Wild 'N Out. You've seen it. You've all seen it.
Yeah,
Sorry, I got loud right there. You've all seen it.
Yeah, he's never had bars. So he comes out there swinging with this shit, and everyone's like, "Word."
The only Nick Cannon song I can ever remember in my life is the one where like it's about a dad that doesn't like him. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. The only song I can remember from Nick Cannon is like they don't even like him. All right, we've had enough.
All right, we gotta go. We gotta
get rolling.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Before we do get out of here, I just want to say this is the last week that you can donate to my very lovely girlfriend's charity, Hygiene for Humanity. She's out there trying to get hygiene packs out there for the homeless, hygiene for the homeless, hygiene for humanity. Check the hashtags, donate whatever you can. And if you can't donate, share. Thank you so much. Kev, got anything you want to plug?
No, I've donated to that charity. It's a really good one. In LA, homelessness is a real problem, so definitely do that if you can.
Yep.
So.
And I've got an Amazon Prime Video out there. You can find it $40 till Friday. But otherwise, donate to the charity. Thank y'all for tuning in. Take care.
All right, peace out.